Last night, as we were enjoying the 4th of July, our first 4th of July at Har Har, we witnessed such an amazing display of faith that I felt like I wanted to share that with you guys today. So, here in the country, the 4th of July is a big deal. Many people come from many cities to come to this rural area to enjoy their fireworks. Not just because they can set off their own, but because Granbury, the area that we live in, is well known for their city fireworks. And since it's such a big open landscape, you can see these fireworks from all over. All the way from Fort Worth and Glen Rose, all of the surrounding areas, you can see the fireworks because we're up on the hill and they're in every direction. We're completely surrounded. However, all the way back on Wednesday, we started seeing people staking out places in town. There was lawn chairs and tents and roped off areas with stakes and caution tape all along the city square. Everywhere you looked. I mean, they weren't in the street. They were along the sides of the streets, on the sidewalks, and lining just about every road downtown. And since this is our first experience living as locals, we weren't quite sure what they were doing. I thought maybe they were preparing for a parade that was going to happen later that day, or some kind of event that was happening. I knew they were going to have a festival. Maybe these were vendors. They were getting ready to set up their vending spots. But no. Day after day after day, those same chairs were still there, but they were added to. There were more chairs there. Sometimes the tents were put up. Sometimes there were barbecue grills left next to those chairs. And there wasn't anybody sitting there. It was just all of this stuff laid out in preparation for what they were expecting. And then finally, it was Sunday. It was the 4th of July. And the fireworks were happening. And that's when we realized what was happening. These were local people who knew that people were going to be coming from all over to experience this unique event, to be able to see fireworks from all over the county, actually for several counties, because of the hilly location in the country. They were staking out their spot because they had an expectation of something unique happening. It hadn't happened yet. They didn't even bother advertising for it because everybody already knew it was going to happen. But the people who had lived here for a while had an expectation. They knew that there was going to be such a unique experience and such an indentation of people coming in from all over that they needed to prepare in advance. They were acting in faith. They had a substance, their chairs, their barbecue grills, their tents, of things that they hoped for, things they hadn't seen yet, but they expected. That was faith. And you know what? Those people had the best seats in the house. They were sitting right under the big display in a place where they could see the faraway displays. All of the uniqueness of the evening was right there. And they had the best seats in the house because they were prepared. So here's my question today. How do you approach the glory? How are you approaching Sunday morning? How are you approaching special meetings when revivals happen? Are you preparing? Are you spending time setting up your place? And I'm not saying staking out your place in the church. I mean spending time in prayer on your own so that you know what to expect because God is speaking to you personally. Are you spending time preparing yourself the way they prepared their barbecue grills and their chairs? Are you preparing yourself to be able to be in the place where God can speak most clearly to you? Or are you the city folk? You're driving in at the last minute, being surprised that they don't have a place to park. and winding up not being able to see anywhere near as much. There is a measure of the glory that is intensified as you get deeper into worship, as you get closer to the atmosphere where the glory is pouring out. And I implore you today to stake out your spot. It's time to get on your knees. Spend some time one-on-one with God so that you can know exactly where your spot is, where the best place for you to be when the glory pours out, when those manifestations, when those services, when those miracles happen. You will be in the place to receive the most that God has to pour out for you, because you've prepared your heart, because you've staked out your place, because you've heard from heaven where it is you need to be. All right, I love y'all. I'll talk to you later.